What's up? Welcome back to the channel. I have this basically a presentation for you guys um, based off of all the information I've been showing. If you guys haven't watched my other videos about this electricity event, this electricity game that took place on October 6th between the Colts and the Broncos, go back and watch those, and you guys are going to have an understanding of why this is all tied together. What I'm about ready to present in this video is just more evidence. And at this point, I don't think I really need to pile on more evidence. I think I've already exposed plenty of evidence, but it just gets even more crazy once you start digging into different types of entertainment of how it's all connected. And so tonight, guys. Tonight is the day before 10:18. Remember, tomorrow is 10:18, which is the verse in the Bible where Satan falls like lightning, where Jesus says, "I saw Satan fall as lightning." And that was Luke 10:18. Tomorrow is October 18th, which should be written 10:18. And that's tomorrow. But the day before, obviously, guys, we have a lightning bolt game, right? And it's with the Broncos, who just played in the electricity game that I like to call it. Remember, because I call it the electricity game mainly because of all the 129s. The final score was 12-9. And in gematria, the practice of coding words into letters, or words into numbers, electricity equals 129. And again, that's why the score was 12-9. Now, if you guys want to understand that, go back and watch my other videos. I'm also going to leave this document, which is going to be kind of a summary of everything, in the description of this video, so you guys can go back and read through all of this. It's all about the 129s. Russell Wilson, who's the quarterback for the Denver Broncos, who is a main puzzle piece in this whole charade. He's a big part of this. He plays for Denver now, but he used to play for Seattle. Remember, there's a lot of dates to talk about here. But what I really want to focus on here is the whole Satan and Revelation stuff. But again, this is why I want to focus on tonight's game, which is between the Chargers, the lightning bolt. I guarantee you we're going to see symbolism tonight in this game. I'm going to be watching to see what the final score is, what the stats are, what happens in the game, because it's going to be very clear and key to understanding when this event is coming and what maybe it'll give me more clues as to more of a precise time period. But again, guys, I'm not trying to predict the right exact time, or I can't even say I know exactly how it's going to happen. But all I know is that the electricity going out. Remember, guys, in gematria, blackout equals 22. We're in the year of 2022, so it would make sense to have an event like this in this year. But if you add the S in the end and you say blackouts, it equals 23. So it could be, 22. It depends on whatever they decide to do. So the problem here is not trying to predict the exact day, but just showing that this is truly what's coming. The next 9/11 is a power grid event. And again, it's clear that these are all tied together. But anyways, guys, please go through and read this document. I'm going to scroll down a lot of it. Some of it I haven't presented. Some of it I have presented already in videos. But again, Russell Wilson's wife, the quarterback for the Broncos, she matches the Carrington event. And the Carrington event is a huge event in history where the power grid collapsed. And Russell Wilson's middle name is Carrington, just like the name of the event. Okay. Also, another thing to mention about the word Carrington is if you just type the word Carrington itself, it equals 119 and 56 and 151. The reason this is important, guys, is because if we do a little match to history here, you're going to see, first of all, that it has the 56 like Society of Jesus, right, who are the ones who are orchestrating a lot of this. It has the 61 like power grid, because if you type in, notice that the 61 here, like power grid, see how power grid has the 61, just like Carrington. It also had the 119, right? Like I told you guys, the next 9/11 is going to be kind of like a power grid Carrington event. It equals 119, okay? It also equals 151, like the Great Reset equals 151. So again, guys, and it's got the 33, you see? So again, this Carrington, this next event is going to be compared to the Carrington event that happened in the 1800s. And it's going to also be compared to the next 9/11, and it has the 111 coded, or the 119 coded right into it. So again, the Carrington event and Russell Wilson's wife have a direct match, and she sings the song "Paint It Black," which I exposed in my last video yesterday. And in this article, or in this, I implore you guys to read this because I've added some new information in here. I added about how Carson Wentz is involved in this, how the game that happened the week after this game. Remember, guys, I told you that the electricity game between the Colts and Broncos with Russell Wilson on the Broncos, that happened on a Thursday, which is the day of lightning, the day of Jupiter, the day of Thor, the day of Zeus, whatever lightning you want to give it. This is the day, okay? And this is the day that we had the electricity score. But anyways, the week after that, on a Thursday, we had another game that I expose it here in this article. I'm not going to really go over it a lot, but I just want you guys to see that it's all tied together with the 118, okay? The blackout, paint it black, the name of the quarterback, Carson James Wentz, who played in the next game on a Thursday. His name equals 206, like paint it black. So just go through and read all this, guys. This is not what I want to focus on in this video, okay? Also, there's a lot in here about the FBI director, Christopher Wray, and how he's tied to Carson Wentz, all right? Also, the Pope's tied to this because the FBI director, Christopher Wray, shares a birthday with the Pope, which is December 17th. So I just wanted to really go over that kind of vaguely, and you guys can read the rest of it in the description. So the next thing I want to talk about to go along with this, all these NFL rituals about lightning and stuff. Well, you had this quarterback yesterday who plays for the New England Patriots. And again, guys, the Patriots very heavily tied to 9/11. And after 9/11, you had the Patriot Act, and then you had the football team, the New England Patriots, become the best team in all of sports. And now you have Tom Brady has left, but now you have their new quarterback's name, Bailey Zappy. And come on, guys. I mean, his name is Zap, like electricity. And I showed in this little picture here, I showed how lightning and Bailey Zappy have the 55 like Satan, falling just like the 10:18 verse where Satan falls as lightning from heaven, you know? So it's the 55 like Satan, and lightning has the 55. And again, guys, this is interesting because you notice that Bailey Zappy threw for 309 yards last night, okay? And this is important because I just told you that Sierra, which is Russell Wilson's wife, her name, she's a musical artist, and her stage name is just Sierra, and she did a cover of the song "Paint It Black," which was used in the trailer for the show 911: The Blackout. Okay, notice that if you type in Sierra, which is the name of the song right here, Sierra, Paint It Black, equals 309, which just happens to match the name of the Bailey Zappy, the amount of yards he threw. Look at this, 309 yards. His name equals 55, like lightning and Satan, and he threw for 309 yards, which just happens to match Sierra, Paint It Black, right? Which is Russell Wilson's wife, who's completely tied to this, and I explained that in my other videos, okay? Also notice that Bailey Zappy, his full name, Bailey Michael Zappy, equals electromagnetic pulse, which I talked about in my other videos. And just so you guys can see how he's tied to Russell Wilson, notice the 317s here, guys. Electromagnetic pulse, 317. Bailey Michael Zappy, 317. Well, look at this. If you type in Russell, okay, his middle name is Carrington, like I told you, the Carrington event. Russell Carrington Wilson equals 317. I just showed you that Bailey Michael Zappy equals 317. Remember, his wife, Russell Wilson's wife, did this cover, which equals 309, and Bailey Zappy, threw for 309 yards, okay? And he just happens to match Russell Wilson with the 317 and electromagnetic pulse, which is what the Denver Stadium where Russell Wilson plays is named after EMP. It might as well be called EMP Stadium because it starts with EMP. So again, electromagnetic pulse is EMP, and he's from Texas, and there's a lot of stuff going on with the connection to Texas right now, okay? But anyways, guys, it's a clear ritual. And I just wanted to point out the 317th day of the year. Okay. I'm going to point out a lot of dates in this video because that's what I really want to go over. The 317th day of the year is November 13th. So if there's going to be electromagnetic pulse, don't you think that electromagnetic pulse equals 317? Don't you think that it might happen on this day, considering what I just showed you about Russell Wilson's name being 317? And this would be like 16 days before his birthday, and it would be 66 days after the Queen died. And this is an important day to measure from because it's gonna coincide with the Queen's death. And she died on September 8th, and 1113 has the 317 like electromagnetic pulse, and it has the 66 date numerology, and it's 66 days after the Queen died. Now, the reason that this November is so important, guys, and the reason that the Queen died the day she died is very simple. Let me show you. So I want you to notice that the Queen died on 9/8/2022, and 54 days later is 54 date numerology, okay? So I want you guys to watch this number. As I hit the date up, you're going to see that the two dates, the amount of days between the Queen's death and the day is going to go parallel with this numerology. Watch. So as I go to 11/2, you're going to see it go to 55 here and 55 here and 55. Watch. So see how it goes to 55 in both places? As a matter of fact, guys, I'm going to remember lightning equals 55. So something could happen on this day, 55 days after the Queen dies. Remember, the invasion of Ukraine was on the 55th day of the year. Satan equals 55. Lightning equals 55. So this is 55 days after the Queen dies, and it's 55 date numerology, and Satan equals 55 and 10. I'll show you that in a minute, how it's tied to this song I just found. Okay. Actually, let me go show you guys that now. So we're looking at this day. It's 55 days after the Queen's death, and it's 55 date numerology. Okay. And I just told you that Bailey Zappy equals 55 and lightning equals 55. But I really want to bring up this song that I found today called Beguiled. Okay. And this is all about Satan. Because if you guys will recall, in Genesis, I'm going to scroll down for a minute. Notice, guys, I found a concert of this guy performing the Jimmy Fallon show, and he has the Freemason compass right on the front of his shirt. It's like, oh my gosh, guys. I mean, it's so obvious. But anyways, keeping with this, I just showed you that the name of this song by the Smashing Pumpkins is called Beguiled, okay? And it's about a serpent, okay? Which is the serpent in the Garden of Eden. And what's the verse in the Garden of Eden that it says? Right here, guys. Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is it that you have done?" And she replied, "The serpent beguiled me." So the name of this song is Beguiled. And in Gematria, it has the 151, like Carrington. Remember, guys, I just showed you that Carrington, right? Carrington, which is Russell Wilson's middle name, equals 151 in the same cipher as Beguiled. And now you have this song called Beguiled, and you have the verse in Genesis saying the serpent beguiled me. And then you have another tie to this because this is the dragon, which equals 151 and 43, just like Beguiled. Notice that the verse in Revelation. Now, this is important, guys, because notice the 129. This is Revelations 12:9. And if you guys know my work, you guys know that electricity, like lightning, right? If I can get it to go here, electricity equals 129, okay? And the verse in Revelations that talks about lightning falling or Satan being hurled down. So I compare this 12:9 verse to this serpent, or to this verse here, the Luke 10:18, okay? Because in Luke 10:18, remember, guys, tomorrow is October 18th, but in Luke 10:18, Jesus says, "I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven." So again, comparing Satan to lightning, okay? And this is about the dragon, which is Satan, being hurled down like lightning. What happens when lightning strikes? It comes down. Okay? So, but notice that the verse is 129, like electricity equals 129. What are the chances, guys? So this is why the 129 is so big, because this verse talks about Satan being hurled down, where Jesus talks about Satan being hurled down as lightning from heaven. Remember, lightning equals 55, like Satan equals 55. All right? And I just showed you that the day that 55 days after the queen died is a 55 date numerology. All right? But also, again, let me show you guys. So the name of this song by the Smashing Pumpkins is Beguiled. And the Beguiled connects us to the dragon or the serpent that's cast down in the electricity verse, which is 12:9. It matches the dragon, which is another name for the serpent or Satan. Okay? And that connects to the Luke 10:18, which says, I beheld Satan as lightning. Okay? Now look at this, guys. Notice that the verse 10:18, lightning equals 55, Satan equals 55, and 10. I just showed you that this day is 55 days after the queen died, and 55 date numerology, and 10. So it has 55 and 10. I just showed you Satan equals 55 and 10. As a matter of fact, 5 plus 5 is 10, right? And we're in the 10th month. And this verse is 10:18, 10, okay? And the name of this album that this Beguiled song is on by Smashing Pumpkins is called Atom, like Adam and Eve, but instead spelled like this, or also could be related to the atom, as in the ATOM, but this is spelled ATUM. Just so you guys can see, let me scroll back up. The name of the album is Atom, a rock opera in 3 acts. Okay? And now go down here. Adam matches Satan. And I just told you that the dude wrote the song called Beguiled, which is all about the serpent and it's about Satan. And then he names the album Adam, which matches Satan, which matches lightning, which connects us right back to the verse, the great dragon that was hurled down in the 129, which goes back to electricity. It's all about the lightning. Remember, guys, electricity equals 129. And if you take the quote out of this Luke 10:18, you're going to get, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So that very phrase right there, as lightning fall from heaven, equals 129, just like electricity. Okay? And guys, watch this. Remember, I just told you this is Luke 10:18, where Jesus says, as lightning from heaven. And Luke 10:18 can be October 18th, which just happens to match the name of the band that released this song and this album called Adam, which matches Satan. Do you see what I mean? And this all ties to Bailey Zappy, Russell Wilson, all the NFL rituals. Remember, Bailey Zappy, 55, lightning 55. Okay, the song Paint It Black, which looks very satanic. Okay, it's about witches. It's for the song The Last Witch Hunter. Okay, it's all tied. And that's why I'm looking at this date, 11/2, 55 days after the queen died, and it has 55 and 10. And guys, it's the 306th day of the year. Jupiter is the electricity god, and Jupiter equals 36. I'll show you. Jupiter equals 36. And this is the 306th day of the year. Jupiter is also associated with lightning. And Jupiter is essentially Satan in my mind at this point. They're all synonymous. And it's 59 days left in the year, which is the 17th prime. But we're in the year of the tiger, and tiger equals 59. So this day is huge. But I just want you to continue to notice that as I go cycle through the dates, you're going to see that these two dates always remain the same. 56, 56, 57, 57, 58, 58. This is why the queen died on 9/8, guys. It's exactly because this November is huge. Everything lines up perfectly. That's why I think any day this month could be something in November. Because also this could go with the electricity. Because remember, guys, power grid equals 115, just like November 5th. Okay, and power outage equals 56, and this is 56 days left in the year. But 11/6 could also be something, because this goes back to the Stranger Things, because this is the day leaving 55 days left in the year. This is the date in Stranger Things when that main character disappears, which is 11/6. This is 59 days after the queen dies, a 59 date numerology, and it goes back to Satan again with the 55. Remember, the Ukraine invasion was on the 55th day of the year, so this is the opposite day on the calendar from the Ukraine invasion. Okay? So you see how any of these days could be important, guys? This is 3/11, like the pandemic was declared on 3/11. But just remember, guys, the dates are always the same. 61 days with after the Queen's death to 61. Okay? So any of these days, 118 could be big because remember, paint it black equals 118. 119, obviously, the connection to 9/11. 11/10 is the 111. Okay, and it's the pi day, the 314 days of the year. You got 11/11, which is the 315, but it's 64 days, and 64 is the kill. That's 11/11, which is also Washington State's founding date. You got the 11/12. I mean, come on, guys. I'm just going through all these. This is the 66. Okay. This is the 69. This could be huge. Okay. The 70. This is the 71, which is tied to cyber attack, 71. This could be the day too, guys. I mean, I don't know what day it's going to be. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe nothing even happens, but it just seems like it's all too correlated. You know how big 11/22 is with JFK. And then you got all the way up to 11/29, which is Russell Wilson's birthday, which is 82 days. And that 82 goes back to Seattle. Okay. Seattle equals 82. And remember, guys, Seattle equals 82. Okay. And that's Russell Wilson's birthday, who used to play for Seattle. It has 82 date numerology, and it's 82 days after the Queen's death. And Queen Elizabeth II equals 82. Queen Elizabeth, or sorry, guys, not Queen Elizabeth, Elizabeth II equals 82. And she died on 8/9. And 82 days after her death is Russell Wilson's birthday, which is 82 days, and it has 82 date numerology, and Seattle equals 82. You see how big a day that could be? That's also 115, which is power grid. So I'm just showing you guys that this day could be huge. Not to mention it's the 333rd day of the year. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys were able to understand how important November is, almost how every day has the potential to be huge. So hope you guys go through and read my document so you guys can get all the clues put together. And I will see you guys in the next video. Much love, many blessings.